Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Battlin Boxer Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for post-duelist pack Soulburning Volcano. The Battlin Boxers were a deck used by Alito in the Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal series. The deck focuses on being able to make your rank 4 Battlin Boxer monsters quite easily, with them being the majority of the extra deck, and also having some of our new Xyz monsters, including the new number C79 Battlin Boxer General Kaiser, one of the new number monsters to be able to rank up into. A really awesome addition to the deck for sure. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the new Battlin Boxers, you do want to run 3 new copies of the Battlin Boxer Promoter. I sadly have to use Battlin Boxer Big Bandage as a placeholder for the last copy that I sadly wasn't able to pull. If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can tribute this card to special summon up to 2 Battlin Boxer monsters with different names from your deck, except for Battlin Boxer Promoter. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to increase or decrease the levels of all Battlin Boxer monsters you currently control by 1. You can only use each effect of Battlin Boxer Promoter once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate any card effects this turn, except for Battlin Boxers. So the majority of our extra deck monsters being a Battlin Boxer isn't really too much of a restriction for Promoter being able to give us 2 monsters to use for the summons of our monsters, and then also being able to banish this card to increase the levels of those monsters mean we can overlay the 3 into our number C79 Battlin Boxer General Kaiser quite easily for the additional summon. You also have the special summon play with this card, meaning you don't even have to take up the spot for your normal summon thanks to your Battlin Boxer monster. And then also the 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Uppercutter. Once again, the Boxer Big Bandage being the placeholder, since I was only able to get 2 and 2 for each of these monsters, but with 3 Uppercutter definitely being needed. If it's normal or special summon, you can add 1 Battlin Boxer monster or 1 counter trap from your deck to your hand, except for Battlin Boxer Uppercutter. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can activate one of these effects. You can special summon a Battlin Boxer monster from your graveyard, except for Boxer Uppercutter, or set 1 counter trap from your graveyard to your field. You can only use 1 Battlin Boxer Uppercutter effect per turn, and only once that turn. So you have the setup, and for the fact that your Battlin Boxer Uppercutter also has 200 defense, you can work very well with the Flame Veil counter trap, since it can also be searched off this card. And when a spell or trap is activated, you banish a fire monster 200 defense from your graveyard to negate the activation and destroy it. So then you have the use of this card in your graveyard after its own destruction or when it's detached off material to go to the graveyard to then be used for your Flame Veil counter on top of some of the other Battlin Boxer counter traps we also have in the deck. I'm also running 3 copies of the new Battlin Boxer Chief Second. With this card during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Battlin Boxer monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn, and when an opponent's monster declares an attack while you control a warrior or fire monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do negate the attack, then banish 1 monster on the field until the end phase. You can only use this effect of Chief Second once per turn, but it's protection for your monsters you may have on the field, but also being more of a setup card, like the name implies, for some of your other Battlin Boxer monsters to then be able to set up on the field quite easily. For some of the older Battlin Boxer monsters, we're running the 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Sparer. I don't know why this card wasn't reprinted in the set. Maybe we'll be getting a super rare version of it in the later OTS 23 that we'll get this year. But if you control a Battlin Boxer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, you cannot conduct your battle phase for the rest of this turn. So it's just more special summon power. Restricting your battle phase isn't a big problem with this card, but it is an easy special summon just needed to get the majority of other Battlin Boxer monsters you may need on the field for your extra deck plays. Also, the 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. This card is targeted for an attack. Destroy this card, and when sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard except for Glassjaw and add it to your hand. So you have recycle power for some of the newer ones we're running, like our Uppercutter, and then also being able to, reuse our Promoter as well is an added bonus thanks to this recycle power from Glassjaw. And then also the 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Switch Hitter. When this card is normal summon, you can target a Battlin Boxer in your graveyard. Special summon it. You cannot special summon any monsters during this turn. You activate this effect except for Battlin Boxer monsters. Really, once again, not a restriction, with the majority of our extra deck monsters being Battlin Boxer monsters to begin with some of the lower numbers. Also being the 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Shadow. During your main phase, you can detach 1 material from a Battlin Boxer Xyz monster you control to special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Battlin Boxer Shadow once per turn. So we have a lot of new cards, like our new Battlin Boxer King Dempsey, and then also being able to summon out this card, the additional detach off of those cards to summon out other Battlin Boxers, like our Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. All play very well with being able just to get a resource off a material to special summon another Battlin Boxer monster to the field, with the last of the Battlin Boxer monsters being our Headgeared. When this card is normal summon, you can send 1 Battlin Boxer monster from your deck to the graveyard. The first time this attack position card will be destroyed by battle. It is not, but once again, graveyard setup, depending on just being able to set up a 200 defense card in the graveyard if we still have our other uppercutter on the field, or just the banish option to adjust with cards like Battlin Boxer Promoter for our other ones on the field, with the rest of the main deck monsters being the 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring and the 2 copies of Ghost Ogre. This can be Nibiru or any other hand trap spot. I definitely want to keep the Ash Blossom in, but Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is just player preference. It could be Droll and Lockbird, Nibiru, you name it, for this last 2 of count. Moving on now to the spells. I run 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Spirits. You send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up defense position. You can only activate 1 Battlin Boxer Spirits per turn, but even if you send a Battlin Boxer monster off the top of the deck, as long as you had that other target, you could potentially target the one you sent off of this card to the graveyard, then just being an additional monster reborn for that other monster summoned onto the field. And then also the 2 copies of the new rank up spell, 7th Force. During the battle phase, if a monster is destroyed by battle or a card effect, target a number Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon from your extra deck 1 number C monster with the same type but 1 rank higher. If you do attach that monster onto it as material, then if you special summoned a number C monster with a number between 101 or 107, you can add 1 7th or Barrier spell or trap or rank up quick play spell except 7th Force from your deck to your hand. So this card can be used for the special summon of a number C monster with the same type but 1 rank higher. So you can use this card to summon out your number 79 and then go into C79 with it to gain the additional card effects of your C79. But you get the extra bonus, which we're not really running the other searchers, but you still have the rank up play to use if you wanted to run any of the other rank up spells to use with number 105 and C105. But being they're the only chaos, 100 number monster that we're running in the deck, there's really no other point to run the additional search cards. These are your 2 rank ups to go to for the 2 rank up cards we have in the extra deck, with the other spells being the 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity, just more search power if you need one specific Battlin Boxer monster for your play to go into, and also the 1 copy of Monster Reborn, Reinforcements of the Army, and Call by the Grave to finish off the 1 of count for the spells we run in the deck. For the traps are consisted of a good majority of counter traps because we have the search power with our uppercutter. So we're running 2 copies of the new Battlin Boxer cross counter. When your opponent activates a monster effect, destroy 1 Battlin Boxer or number Xyz monster you control. And if you do, negate the activation. If you do destroy that monster, then you can apply the following effect to special summon 1 Battlin Boxer Xyz monster from your extra deck with a different name than the first monster. If you do attach this card to it as material, you can only activate 1 Battlin Boxer cross counter per turn. So then just being able to destroy a Battlin Boxer or number Xyz monster and then attach this card to it as material means you also have the destruction of your potential other cards. So if you have cards like Uppercutter on the field for the tribute of the destruction of this card, and then additionally Flame Bell counter, you have your 2 counters ready to use, activating the first, destroying this card, then setting it up in your graveyard for your Flame Bell counter, which we are also running the 1 copy of this card and the 1 copy of Jolt counter. During the battle phase, when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated while you control a Battlin Boxer monster, negate the activation and destroy it, and then Flame Bell counter just stops a spell or trap by banishing that 200 defense monster from our graveyard, which works very well with Uppercutter. And then the last of the traps being the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just along with Ash Blossom, a very good hand trap to rely on when going up against your opponent if they went first against you. Moving on now to the extra deck. Like I said before, the extra deck is comprised of a good majority of Battlin Boxer monsters, running 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. You need 2 level 4 Battlin Boxers. If a Battlin Boxer monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead, or basically instead of destroying those monsters. And if a material is detached from this card, it gains 800 attacks. You have the power boost of Lead Yoke, and then the protection for your other Battlin Boxers on the field, and also the 2 copies of number 79, Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. Needing 2 level 4 monsters, it gains 100 attack for each material attached to it. And once per turn during your main phase, you can attach 1 Battlin Boxer monster from your hand or graveyard to this card's material. And when this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to your graveyard while it has material, you can target a level 4 lower Battlin Boxer monsters in your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had and special summon them. So even if Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser leaves the field, if you had enough materials on it, you can at least have the resources to get this card back onto the field again. And then 2 copies of the new Battlin Boxer King Dempsey. Needing 2 level 4 monsters. If it's special summon, you can take 1 level 4 lower Fire Warrior monster or Battlin Boxer spell or trap from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And then you can detach 1 from a monster you control. And if your opponent cannot target Battlin Boxer monsters you control with card effects for this turn. So it's protection on top of search power. So you definitely want to run, I was even considering running 3 copies of this card if you wanted to, as added options for search and setup, with also the 1-of copy of number 105 Battlin Boxer Star Cestus and the 1 Battlin Boxer Cheat Commissioner for the added possibility with Cheat Commissioner being a rank 3 monster. You could just lower down the levels of your Battlin Boxers thanks to Promoter to go into this card. And then also 2 copies of the new C79 Battlin Boxer General Kaiser, gaining 200 attack for each material attached to it. When your opponent would special summon a monster, you can detach 2 from this card to negate the summon and destroy that monster. And if it has number 79, it gains the additional effect of once per turn when an attack is declared involving your Battlin Boxer monster and an opponent's monster, you can send 1 Battlin Boxer monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to attach that opponent's monster as material. So another way to take your opponent's card being very similar to number 101 Silent Honor Arc, and then the additional negate destruction of your opponent's monsters just by having more and more materials attached onto your number 79 makes your number C79 all the stronger, with the last of the Xyz monsters being 1 copy of C105 and the 1 Arsenal Zeus for the overlay plays with our other Battlin Boxers. With the Link monsters, just small options for a Link monster engine being 1 Nightmare Phoenix, the 1 IP Masquerena, and the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. As for some of the go-to plays in the deck, like I said, Promoter really does help to set up a good majority of the summons you may want to go to with this card. And also with this one, you're limited for the special summon, but you still have your setup. And with this card, special summon play, being able to banish for the additional level raise of this card as well. So first, you can special summon Promoter if you if your opponent controls a monster, to special summon 2 other Battlin Boxers from your deck to the field. So then you could go for the Uppercutter summon, and then also just the 1 additional Battlin Boxer monster. Then you can activate your Uppercutter with special summon to add a Battlin Boxer monster or a counter trap from your deck to your hand. So if you want the counter trap, you can search for that and only go for this normally if you have the other Battlin Boxer in your hand to begin with. Spare would be one of the best options. If you have this, then you don't need to search it, because then you can go for the special summon of your Battlin Boxer Spare, and then you could potentially banish the Promoter from your graveyard to raise the level of your Battlin Boxers. Being all level 5, you can overlay them into your new C79 without even needing the rank up spell. The only negative benefit to this is it will not have the additional effect of having number C79 or number 79 on it as material, but you will have the counter trap that you searched off of the Uppercutter as well for that additional play, and then the monster negate by being able to detach 2 off this card to begin with. If you had these 3 monsters on the field, you also have the play just to go into the number 79 Nova Kaiser with your 2 level 4 monsters, and then having the additional attach effect. And then this bonus only comes down to if you have 7 Force in your hand to rank up into this card, while also being able to attach another potential Battlin Boxer card from your hand to this card. So then you have the 2 negates on top of having number 79 on it to also take your opponent's resources to keep on this card while having 2 monster negates to begin with. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, we finished all the decks from the Soulburning Volcano booster pack, so I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.